using the Sustainability Learning Suites. In this video, I'll talk about the learning aims of each suite, how the presentation materials are related to these aims and can be used, and how you can use the activities and assessments. Let's start by downloading the materials. You can go to this URL, thedigitalcommons.calpoly.edu, or you can get to the Learning Suites by going to my Selected Works page. And you can see if you scroll down that the Learning Suites will be listed under Learning Materials. And here you'll find all the content for all 6 of the suites. And as an example, we can look at the Energy Suite. Now, listed on the page, you'll see all kinds of information about this particular file, including an abstract and the associated documents like the Fink Taxonomy of Significant Learning, Energy Activities, and the Learning Objectives. So let's just start there, take a look at these objectives. This document is a PDF document that can be downloaded, and it contains a list of the learning objectives for each of the 6 areas of significant learning that Fink has identified. Now, what's a little bit unique about the Fink Taxonomy of Significant Learning is that the real aim here is long-term impact. You're asking about what you want the students to have a year or 2 after the course is over. Okay, let's see how the rest of the materials can be used. We'll go back to the page that contains the file to be downloaded, and we will download the presentation materials. So in my particular browser, it downloads and I can open it from the browser. And these are all in open source PowerPoint format. So you can see that these files are loaded in there along with notes for each file. And each of the Learning Suite starts out with what's called a storyboard, and that describes the main point that is in the Learning Suite. And again, this is just one perspective. There are other ways of looking at the whole sustainability issue. You'll see awareness of facts, awareness of personal role, and awareness of strategies. And this one that I'm showing you now is from the Energy Learning Suite. So let's take a look at what else you have inside the notes. So in the notes section, and I'll go to maybe a more elaborate slide, you'll see that it contains the source of information, maybe who published the original data. In this case, it's Herman. It also contains information on where you would go to learn more about this particular subject in the Mihalcik and Zimmerman text. It also contains a list of the targeted learning objectives for this particular module. Now let's look at how we've built in active learning into the materials. So on this page, you'll see that the slide contains an activity that can be done in class. These are kind of structured as some rather short thought problems, and we have notes inside the note pages for the faculty. The notes represent a way of thinking about the activity. And these aren't really answers, they're points of reflection about these sustainability issues. Okay, let's take a look at the activities. From the same page, download an activity, and these are all in PDF format. What you'll see is the activities are also organized around the Fink taxonomy, showing you kind of the targeted areas in this graphic, as well as showing what type of learning is involved, whether it's direct learning, whether it's doing or observing, it's individual work or group work. Also notice that the targeted learning objectives are listed and the activities described, as well as notes to faculty about the activity and a set of objectives, the criterion for sort of assessing the objectives, and standards that you might employ. I hope you've enjoyed this brief look at how to use the Sustainability Learning Suites. Remember, each suite contains learning objectives based on the Fink Taxonomy of Significant Learning, a set of fully editable slides linked to the learning objectives. And each slide contains notes and references to original data sources and suggestions on where to find more information. The slides also contain short in-class activities and notes to the faculty on the activity. The activities that you can download within each suite are also tied to the learning objectives and contain suggestions on assessing the results. You'll find a similar format with the integrated assessments,